Cool. We are back with another interview live from the Grove. I'm Keon. I'm here with ATM Bezzal, my boy.
What's going
Dab me up.
on?
Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me
You know
hanging.
what I'm saying? My
You know what I'm
mama
saying?
did leave it, but you know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yes,
blessed to
sir.
be here, my brother.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah.
you having me here,
I
man.
appreciate you coming, man. I know we've been trying to get this interview in for a couple of weeks now, and you got like a big trip going on today, so I appreciate you definitely stopping by. Off camera, I can already tell like this is gonna be a great conversation because we had to stop ourselves multiple times from even talking.
Yeah.
So first, I kind of wanted to start off with you're from Memphis, and I kind of wanted to know how you ended up coming out to San Diego and how that's been for you.
All right. So I got here in October of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was at the time, that's when I was active duty in the military. So I'm a vet of the Navy. You know
Okay,
what I'm
thank you
saying?
for your service, sir.
Man, I appreciate it. I've been a vet since June of 2023. So around about a year times frame, since I discharged from the Navy, man. And it's been a journey, even from the time that I was in to the
Mm-hmm.
time that I'm out now, and just trying to develop myself as an artist, still trying to work on my work ethic because it's strong, it's nonstop. But at
Yeah,
the end of the day, I can always be better. You know what I'm
no, I
saying?
feel that.
So you
When
know,
did when
but
did music start for you then, since saying it was part of your journey?
definitely 2017. That's when I
Okay.
started, and it was overseas when I was in Japan.
Oh shit.
Man, I got blessed from what a lot of people was telling me because I went to boot camp 2016 in Chicago up there, and that's where they tell you where you're going next for your first duty station.
Mm-hmm.
And when they was going around the room, they was like, "Yeah, you going to Japan?" I was like, "Shit." I was mad at first
Yeah.
because I've been living in Memphis my whole life.
Yes.
So it's like when they told me I'm going there, my first instinct was, "Damn, I'm mad as a motherfucker. I ain't trying to leave the country." You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But I got over there, and man, it was a culture shock. It
Yeah.
was a whole different world when I got over there. It was a blessing to even get over there, go over there. Some people ain't never,
Yeah. I ain't never been. I
you
can only
feel me?
imagine.
So when I got there and just open myself up to, hey, don't be the average Memphis nigga. Don't, what I'm saying? Open yourself up to new cultures, new ideas, new ways of thinking, and see how you can collaborate with that.
Mm-hmm.
And man, did that pay off because I ended up working with a Japanese engineer over there when I first started rapping. I had a homeboy, he was from Chicago. And he was telling me, I rap this and that. I'm like, all right. Went to the studio, saw how he was doing his thing. I'm like, shit, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, he linked me up with the Japanese engineer Ichiro. Shout out to Ichiro if you watching this, man.
Hell yeah.
Ichiro, man, I'm talking about, like, my accent is pretty heavy. When I
Mm-hmm.
got to him at that time, I just left Memphis.
You
He
couldn't
was looking
understand
all,
shit.
man, he couldn't understand me, dog. So, but that was really like the starting point for me as an artist. Trying to find my sound and trying to actually write a song because I was just freestyling all day, all night. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really know how to organize my songs. And once I actually educated, sat down, and tried to figure out how to do that, I'm like, man, I can do
Yeah.
this.
What were like some influences, I guess? Because I know we all have artists that we like, but do you feel like there's anyone that kind of like influenced your style?
Man, man, I'm gonna go ahead. So I get the paper route versus CMG question all the time,
Yeah,
right? With Dolph
of
and Gotti.
course.
And I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, and I was just like, when it comes to it, because my mom, she's from North Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where Yo Gotti's from. My dad, he's from South Memphis. That's where Young Dolph is from.
Got you.
So before I knew anything about Memphis, I remember picking up a CD. It was a Yo Gotti CD, one of his
Yeah.
first debut albums that he had when he was trying to make it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my introductory to standing in the kitchen or 9 to 5 doughboy type of work.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, all right, that's cool. And after that, that's when I was going to the gas station with my pops, and I remember walking in. This is when he had dropped The Time to Kill. That was one of Dog's first mixtapes, and he was putting it in the gas stations for people to just come in and check
Yeah.
it out. So we was in there. I was like, let me check it out or whatever. We went back to my pops Goldenville. That's the kind of Cadillac he had. He was doing his thing. Man, we put that thing on, and he was just from the first track all the way through. We was bumping that thing
Yeah.
through the city. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where, and I would say musical influence. Definitely, I got to give it to Dolph.
Hell yeah.
I looked at him as not only a rapper but a father figure. A role model.
Mm-hmm.
Just somebody that can lead the black community. And you ain't you can give it a good feel at the same time.
Yeah. Another thing when I think of Memphis, and I bring this group up damn near every other episode on the podcast, 3 6 Mafia, one of my favorite groups of all time, and I do feel like Memphis doesn't really get a lot of credit as far as like everything they've done, especially in the underground scene, which is
Yeah.
a big thing we focus on in the podcast is the underground scene. So just the and I know y'all got people like Chris Travis. I want to say he's from out there.
Shout out to Chris Travis,
Yeah,
that's my dog.
hell yeah. Is Xavier Wolf from out there too?
Xavier Wolf,
Yeah,
he from East Memphis too.
yeah. So it's like, damn, y'all got a lot of shit out there, man.
Yeah, man, and you know it's funny, like I know how it is everywhere. Of course, it's neighborhoods, this
Hmm.
whoever comes from whatever side, but I'm talking about North Memphis, South Memphis, East Memphis, and we can say West Memphis. That's more the Arkansas side or
Yeah.
whatever. But YTB Fat, that's a perfect example.
Hmm.
So we pump great artists out of the South. You know, I know for a long time we've been doing our thing, but recently I feel like that's when we just gained this momentum.
Hmm.
So
So being out on the West Coast now, and then still having like your Southern roots, how do you feel like that has affected people out here listening to your music? How do they respond?
it's funny. Man, it separates myself
Mm.
from, you know, and I wouldn't say anything against any other artists that, you know, if they're from the West Coast or not, but I've noticed from the many shows that I've done, man, I come in with, you know, this accent, the way I talk, from the beats that I have, from the way I come on my beats, you know, it's
Hmm.
just that enough is just enough to capture anyone's attention in California, because it's
Yeah,
like, where is he from?
hundred
Oh,
percent.
you know what I'm saying? I know he's not from here. And, you know, I always have the conversation too of me being an outsider. I don't look to come in and take over anybody's land or anybody's
Yeah.
area. No, if anything, I want to collaborate. I want to work with the hardest person in this neighborhood or the hardest
Hmm.
person of this genre. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't just see rap. I don't just see as other artists as competition, you know,
Hmm.
because we can all help each other.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal and what is important. Um, you speak on doing shows. How many have you done out here?
Man, let's see. I probably San Diego or California in general.
You could do California. You
Oh
could do
man,
California.
I've had two shows in LA so far, and at least 4 to 5 different shows here in San Diego alone.
Oh yeah. And
So,
then do you enjoy performing?
oh yeah, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it, man. I love seeing the reaction on different people's faces. They
Hmm.
don't expect me because I'm like how cool I am sitting here talk. They see me coming in, they're like, yeah, this dude ain't talking about nothing. I get on
Yeah.
the mic and just turn everybody up. That's a beautiful feeling, man.
Yeah. No, it really is. I was gonna ask, do you remember your first time performing?
Oh yeah, yeah, man. It was let's see. Yeah, it was definitely Japan.
Okay. So you performed in Japan.
Oh man, that was different. That's
That's
why I said,
ill.
yeah, it was
That's
a different
ill.
world, but I feel like that's what got me ready for when I got here.
Hmm.
Because keep in mind, Japan is more of a tourist attraction, you know, kind of place. So you
Hmm.
got people from Australia, you got people from Ireland, you got people from pretty much anywhere,
Yeah.
you know, that stop through. And I was doing some shows in Yokosuka. That's where we had all our Navy ships in, you know, the pier. And then like right off of the pier, you know, we have this little area with the strip, you know, pretty much all the different bars and stuff. And I got cool with a couple of the bar owners, and you know, I saw that they were, you know, looking for talent to come in and, you know, have like a open mic night type of thing. And I was
Yeah.
one of the first people that actually got that momentum going out there. So
That's hard.
there's some rappers in the Navy right now that people ain't really too familiar with, but
Hmm.
I am for sure. And I
Yeah.
put on for, you know, people like that want to do it a different way.
Yeah. No, that is hard. I think that is a crazy thing that certain artists have to have a point in their career that they come to. Cause me, I was raised out here, and I ain't no gangbanger. Be around gangbangers, but I ain't one, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like out here most of the lane is like being in the streets and shit like that. I'm like, man, I'm really just a nigga that go to college, like hoop with the
Yeah.
homies,
Yeah.
and like a man at the end of the day. And I'm like, fuck, like and once you realize and that's the type of people I go for too, and I
Yeah.
still go for the street niggas, but I think just being authentic with yourself, like
Yeah.
being a rapper and being like, yeah, I was in the Navy or whatever, whereas some niggas want to
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know
I come from this, and this is
yeah,
all I
yeah,
identified. See, that's
yeah,
the thing, you know. And I take these off real
yeah,
quick,
there we go.
man. You know, coming from Memphis, when I was growing up, I didn't realize I was growing up in a war zone. How it's,
Mm-hmm.
how it's pictured to this day actually. And it wasn't until I got to Japan, man, and I was over there, and I was just like, man, it's so peaceful. You don't have to worry about nobody breaking in your car. You ain't got to worry about nobody taking your car. You ain't got to worry about getting robbed. None of that,
Yeah.
man. You can move around so like just so easily there, and people are just down to earth, just nice. I remember one time I was in a train station. I had dropped my wallet, and I'm looking for like my train pass to get on. I'm patting myself down, and this
Mm-hmm.
this little old Japanese lady just walks up to me with my wallet. Here you go.
Damn.
And I had some Japanese yen in my wallet at that time. Gave it to her. And that's just the right thing to do. And of course,
Yeah.
somebody that didn't have to. Hey, I ain't track
Yeah.
you
She could have
down.
went home with that shit.
There you go. You could have had you some money. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But that wasn't the last experience I had as far as good deeds that other people done, or how safe it is.
Yeah.
That by itself was shocking, man. I could
Yeah.
literally just be going anywhere, wouldn't have to worry about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which that's insane. I can't even imagine that.
man,
Yeah.
that's it's a different type of love, man, and I really appreciate the Japanese culture because it taught me a lot, man. You people that come to my house right now, take your shoes off at the door, man. We gotta keep this flow clean. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, and that's ill. And I think that is why people need to travel and get away from where they at. You having family in Memphis, me having family in Indiana. I'm sure you can see people that get stuck with the small town mentality. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Where
yeah.
nothing exists outside of there.
Uh huh.
You know,
Definitely.
so it's always amazing to be able to get out of it, and then especially make something of yourself when you get out of it.
Yep. Most definitely.
I can't
And
go ahead.
man, I was gonna say, I don't regret not one bit of me joining either, because
Mm-hmm.
it really developed me. It developed a lot of skills for me, not just for me being a man, but working with different people from everywhere. Because me being from Memphis, okay, I had to be the supervisor of people from Florida or somebody from a different area or a different
Yeah.
hood, and they looking at me like. But at the end of the day, shit, we all come from a struggle, man.
Type shit.
So
Yeah. Prior to you going to Japan, you didn't think about making music or had.
man, I was a straight up hooper. I was a
Yeah.
straight up baller,
Hell
man.
yeah.
My goal right now for me, ATM Bezzal, I'm gonna say it right here, right now. I'm the coldest hooping rapper.
Yeah.
This is, yeah. I'm the coldest hooping rapper. I'm coming off of a torn Achilles right now,
Okay.
and thank God I didn't have to get no surgery or nothing. It wasn't to that extent, but
Mm-hmm.
that was the first time I had a serious injury like that, and I was playing ball just literally a few months ago, and now I'm back up and walking. So
Yeah.
dealing with their recovery process, it took your boy into like a little depression,
Mm-hmm.
bed rest all day, all night, staying off a foot. I got two kids now. So it's just
Damn.
like
Yeah.
I got responsibility, and I've had some obstacles coming my way, but it's all about how you deal with, those things that life throws at you.
Yeah, and that kind of segues into a good question I ask everyone here because as an artist and especially doing this so long, I love to ask people this because I feel like it helps motivate new artists and it also lets existing artists know they're not alone in the struggle. So like, what I know there has to have been a point in time where you're like, man, fuck, this shit's not working. I think I'm done. What's kept you going? You know what I mean? Like, what's kept you still on this path?
Man, so 2020, I can take it back there again because 2020 was really like, I definitely say like my worst year of my life, man. I
Mm,
gotta, because my firstborn daughter was born in 2020,
mm-hmm.
and she passed away in April.
I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
you know what I'm saying, like being a father that's having to deal with, I had to bury my own child, and that
Yeah,
shouldn't even be a thing. You know what I'm saying?
hundred
So
percent.
that happened while I was in Japan, and that's what brought me here to San Diego for mental health, and
Mm,
that's why I preach mental health is a major thing for the black community, not just black males, black female, anybody. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That's just not a thing we hit on. We see a lot of success from these other artists, and what they're gonna do next, and what message they portraying. But man, me, I'm coming in the game. I'm doing things real different. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So that's my goal, and mental health is just not no joke, man. I really I want to be that voice. I want to
yeah.
be that, that person. When you see me, you can come holler at me. I would
Hmm.
never, stick my nose up in nobody or,
Yeah.
look at people differently because everybody go through what they go through.
100%. Like, and that's why I try not to take things personal in my own life because I don't be knowing what the next person going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And be trying to be understanding to other people. So nah, that shit's
yeah,
ill, man. And once again, my condolences for that because that is a tough thing to go through. And just to see that, man, where like you're in the Navy, you're going through all that, and you're still making music, like that type of drive is very commendable. And
And
do you feel like you've always just had that driving? Do you think that comes from hooping?
it
Like something like that, you know what I mean? Where kind of the same work ethic you had into that. Do you think that had kind of a transition to music at all?
so I could see that, yeah, we could
Mm-hmm.
stem from that being that competitor, like don't throw in the towel or don't quit.
Mm-hmm.
I could see what that does stem from that, but it's almost like I did have to regain my second win after the passing of Empress. That was her name, Empress.
Mm-hmm.
So after the Empress passed, man, it was like I lost myself. I ain't gonna lie, I got in trouble. I got locked up too. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I have a story to tell, but it's only if you know type of thing. Because I've never
Gotcha.
been that person to be out on the street. Yeah, I did this, I did X, Y, and Z. If you know me, you know my story type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And yeah, from me being here sitting on this couch with you today, it's a blessing, man. And it took a lot to get here. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Nah,
So
that's hard, man. And does that come through in your music?
definitely, for my music, I really just try to give a really feel good, like a really good feeling for whoever's listening, for the consumer, whoever's picking up, whoever wants to listen to an ATM Bezzal track.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be something like you cut on your car and you just driving. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm-hmm.
some, if you having a rough day, let me cut on this ATM Bezel, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bitch just left me, man. Let me cut on some ATM Bezel,
Yeah.
man. I need to go get some money, man. Let me cut on this ATM. But so
Mm-hmm.
it's like at different areas. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not portraying to because you got different artists that all they know is to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have people, and when you have a conversation with somebody, or you just listen to certain substance from somebody, you can tell like that's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's definitely like I said, that initiative. I want them to have that good feeling when they cut their music on for ATM Bills.
I get that. How'd you come up with the name?
Man, so Bezel comes from my first name Brent. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it was just a little something, but I always said my time was coming.
Mm.
So that's just like like bezel on a watch. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I ain't got my bezel today. You
Yeah.
know
No,
what I'm
I
saying?
feel it.
But
I feel it.
that's where bezel comes from, and ATM it stands for all the money. Now that's
Okay.
not a direct saying of like, oh yeah, I got all the money. No, that's the goal. That's what we want. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because I move around like a boss. I have my business all together. What a boss would do.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing that I want. I want to do, and money's gonna come. You don't have to chase it.
Mm.
So, you don't have to be that money hungry person standing at an ATM. That ATM either gonna break down one day, or it's got to get loaded. Money gonna come
Yeah.
your way.
Either way.
Or if you just sticking your card in to go get your money, there you go.
Yeah. Nah, I get it. Do you have any like projects out currently? Full bodies of work.
So currently, I'm just doing singles right now.
Okay.
I do. I'm planning to drop an EP. I actually have a clothing line that I'm focusing on really to drop at the end of this year. So a winter
Okay.
collection is what I'm
Hell yeah.
focusing on
Be
right
on the
now,
lookout for that.
man. As far as the actual clothing line, I'm gonna do some announcements for that. So stay tuned. Um, Music wise, like I said, I'm gonna be pushing these singles out. I got a single right now that I just shot a video for.
Mm.
It's a Cali freestyle. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's my overall experience as a Memphis nigga in California.
Mm.
And I translated that into the beat. And I think everybody's gonna really enjoy this record. I shot a video for it about a week ago.
Oh yeah.
So I got some big names here in San Diego that I'm really gonna be working with. Shout out OG Tiny Do, man. Shout out Siete Gang. Shout out to man, everybody, man, that's doing that thing here in San Diego and making noise, man. I see y'all. I see what y'all doing. You know, we're gonna get some shit done, man. We're
Oh
gonna put
yeah.
Dago in that spotlight more than what it already is.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
there's a ton of talent out here. And those are like, some fire artists you just named too, man. So shout out to all of them.
Man,
Um, doing my research, I seen the On the Radar freestyle about a year ago
yeah,
or a year or two ago.
it's about a year.
How'd that come? How'd that come up?
Man,
And also, you did great too.
I
By the way, so
appreciate it,
that shit
brother.
was fire
I
for
appreciate it.
sure.
Man, I got invited to a showcase out there in LA.
Hmm.
Um, it was probably maybe my second time going to LA. Man, my first time in LA was wild. I ain't gonna lie. Literally
Yeah,
from the time that I got down there, man, I remember I'm coming down Hollywood Boulevard and these police they just zooming past me and I'm just sitting in traffic. So I'm like, damn, what's going on? Man, probably about 2 or 3 minutes of the traffic kind of, progressing. I'm riding by, I'm seeing motherfuckers stretched out in the middle of the street. They got to put the white sheet over. I'm like, damn. This is literally my first time in
Going to
LA,
LA.
pulling up. Like,
Yeah.
damn, this what it. Shit, it's another war zone.
Type shit. Yeah.
So, but nah, that was probably when I did the On the Radar. It was probably my second or third time when I went out there, and it was just more of me, like I said, just trying to get my name out there, get my fan base up. And shout out to Scott Morris. He was the one that put the event together out there in LA. So he just told me, man, show up, you're gonna do your thing, you're gonna be battling lead. It was at least about 30 artists. And by the time I got there, I'm one of the last ones to get there. So I'm sitting by, I'm sitting down, letting everybody do their thing. And they had already told us they was like a label rep was gonna be in the building. We just didn't know who it was, from where or whatnot. And 25 performers later, your boy ATM Bezzal gets up there. I get to rocking out to two of my songs. The first one is what really caught everybody's attention. They was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Second one, man, it was off the chain. That's what really did tore the roof off the building. And so after that, I got in touch with Shauna. Shout out to Shauna. Shauna, she's a 1017 rep for Atlanta.
Okay.
And she, pulled some strings. She said, what all have you done? So we're going over my work history as an artist. Is what I've done in the midst of me leaving Japan to come back home to Memphis, because I'm still doing things in the city. You see what I'm saying? And the know like what I'm able to show her, it's like, oh, you on your shit.
Yeah.
So now I'm finna send you somewhere else to do something else. So that's when she pulled some strings with the people that on the radar, got me up there, man. I went there and did my thing, and I had a blast, man.
Nah, that's ill, man. That shit was ill. I was surprised to see that. I was like, oh shit. I think another thing I saw you was on the Drewski thing too.
Yeah.
So, because I know before you were talking about before being on camera, you were saying what's the word I'm looking for? The whole social media thing. So I think you are doing a really good job of like marketing and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's pretty ill, man.
No, I really appreciate it, man. The Drewski thing came out of nowhere, man. It was like, man, it had to be at least like 3 or 4 months prior to that show, him coming here, that I had submitted my music, because I saw where he was pretty much accepting, any kind of talent, to come on his show when he comes here. So, I was like, fuck it, I try to submit something, see if he fuck with it. Man, I got an email a couple days before he got here talking about I've been selected. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. All right, cool. So I got there. Man, before I even got to Drewski, they was telling us how we had to go through this whole panel of, if you're selected, if you're the final yes or no or whatever. Man, they were asking me the same thing, like, what's your name, where you from? And then I remember they it was like, why you get out the Navy? I was like, man, that's something I didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's something. And I commend to anybody that's still in. I got partners in right now that's making rank in the Navy, making bread. They up there, and they still support me. You know what I'm saying? Still posting my music. I know how tricky things can get, but man, just having that support, having that backing, it means everything. So,
and you've been doing everything completely independent,
completely independent, never been signed. Man, can't nobody, nothing. Everything's coming out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really gonna put ATM on the map, and like I said, long lived Dolph. He really showed, you know what I'm saying, how boss supposed to move, how boss supposed to do their thing.
And that's how you would like to continue things as independent, yeah.
There you go.
Hell yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. That's the only way to do it, honestly. Oh, that's ill, man. And this is part of the interview. I typically ask people, what's the word? It's like final words essentially, but in the sense of, in the interview, you may have things you want to talk about, right? And the interview goes pertaining based off of the questions I asked. So this is a point where you can chop it up with me, chop it up with the camera, get anything off of your chest that maybe you wanted to bring up in this discussion today.
Okay. Man, where can I start with?
It's the Bezzal Pod now.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Welcome to the Bezzal Pod. Man, really my main thing is I'm blessed to be here. I'm glad to be here. As an independent artist, like I said, I'm more than willing, ready to work with whoever is ready to work, make this money, man, because it ain't, when it comes to music, of course, I've heard it plenty of times. It's just not about talent, it's about business, man, it really is. It's really 90% business and 10% talent.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
I gotta say, recently, even with everything that I've still been doing and still trying to put myself out there, you still got to know how to run your shit. You
Mm-hmm.
still got to know how to keep your momentum with your fans. You still got to know how to show face. For me, like I said, the things that I was going through with depression or, you know, PTSD, like I might have them bad days, and it might not just be one day. It might be two, three. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I just need that space to, reset myself. And that's why I try to get people to understand that, especially people that's close to me. Like, man, you might see me smiling here one day, and
Mm-hmm.
then you ain't gonna hear from me like a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? But that's
Yeah.
just me, how I am, and how, if I want to work on myself, if I need to reset, that's just how I do things.
Yeah.
So, and that's my apologies to my fans. As far as why Bells ain't putting nothing out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hear it all the time. Nigga,
Yeah.
man, nigga, why you ain't drop? Man, I got life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't made it all the way there, but best believe, I have that vision, and the vision hasn't led me wrong. Because guess what? I'm on this couch with you right here to
Yeah.
this day.
Yeah. No, it's leading you to the right places. Do you feel you could be more consistent musically?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to It's Away 24.
Mm-hmm.
I recently just won a contest with them.
Okay.
I can't say too much on it because we got some big things coming right now. So San Diego really is about to have for sure a different kind of spotlight on it.
Hell yeah.
And got some artists in there, some artists. Shout out to Lil Dago King, Lil Elijah. He's
Hell
the
yeah.
dance king.
Okay.
Um,
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Princess. She holding things down. She doing her thing in the booth as well. What's a SoCal Barbie?
Mm.
She's in the booth as well. Man, we actually got some names up in that studio that I was like, man, I'm surprised I'm here. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's
So
hard. What is
uh,
ATM? Is it like a collective with other rappers in it, or?
right now, I mean, I got my members. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay,
got my
okay,
members. I got some members back home. I got some members in different states. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? But they push me specifically. They don't push the brand
Gotcha.
because they see exactly what I'm trying to do. So I have my people all across the United States, not just the United States, worldwide.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
including Japan. You
there
know
you
what I
go.
mean?
You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
Yes, sir. No, that's insane. And then make sure you let the people know where they could follow you at. What streaming services? Like, plug your shit, please.
Man, hey, tap in with your boy. Making Easy Money, Pip House Styles. Your boy East Memphis, ATM Bezzal. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on IG at ATM Bezzal. You see it right here. You know what I'm saying? ATM Bezzal. Facebook, you can find me at Brent Palmer. You know, a lot of people still don't be on Facebook.
I know. I like. I'm only on there for family on some real shit.
Yeah.
But I be thinking sometimes. I'm like, I had posted a song, one of my songs on there one time, and then someone was like, "Oh, this shit hard," da da da, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, even just posting it there for one person that might be checking it out
Yeah.
there, you got to make everyone aware. So follow my nigga on Facebook.
Man, Brent Palmer, IG ATM Bezzal. I don't really be on Twitter like that, but you can find me on there, ATM Bezzal as well. Be looking for an upcoming release, California Freestyle to be exact. That's gonna be dropping here real soon.
You got a date for it yet? Or?
We're still working out some things with the video right
Okay.
now. So
Okay.
it's once that's finalized, man, we're gonna let it loose and it's a record I'm excited about.
Hell yeah.
Probably my best work ever.
Okay. Hey, we got it on film, so we're gonna be back to let you know.
For sure.
Yes, sir. And then we ain't forget too. He promised us an EP, so we'll check that out by the end of the year. See what's going on with that. We also got promised merch in the winter, so that's my thing with the interviews. I hold people accountable for everything in them too.
Man, I'm not one of them. I'm one of them people. I stand on what I say, and I like holding yourself
I'll hit you with a DM like, nigga, where that?
Hey, I got you.
But I just wanted to say once again, man, I really appreciate you coming through. Anytime you want to come through, man, please feel welcome to. We're planning on doing like even more content, like even like a day in the life and stuff like that.
Word.
So we're gonna hit you up. And I've been thinking about doing a show with all the people that have been here and shit. So
hey, that's dope. Hey man, that's a blessing, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Man, I pulled up today too with the man. They ain't been seeing me in so long. They didn't even know I got
the hair. They got
man.
love.
I pull up on Huey Freeman time.
Yes, today. Sir. And I'm Riley. Nah, man.
Oh man.
So my boy have a safe trip. Once again, thank you for coming through, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
ATM Bezzal podcast.
Yes, sir.
Live from the Grove, baby.
Bells. I think that was good.
Yes, sir.
That was a great interview.
Thank you.
Man, and you know what? The interview you said you watched before with the other guy,
Uh-huh.